Hey everyone, welcome back to Talks of Success. Yeah, we've got a very interesting one for you today, all about gold and specifically coins. We're joined by the CEO and founder of Scoin, who probably needs no introduction to anyone that's listening in South Africa. But obviously, when it comes to purchasing commodities or assets or anything like that here in South Africa and across the world, there is an element of compliance and regulatory controls that you need to go through, or the companies to ensure that they've gone through in order to make sure there's no sort of fraud or money laundering or anything of the sort. So thank you to our dear sponsors, LexisNexis Risk Solutions, who have a suite of different products and services designed specifically for that. So to help you as a FinTech, as a financial services provider, really navigate the quite complex worlds of compliance and risk across the continent. So please do give them a look up, LexisNexis Risk Solutions, links down below, and hope you enjoyed this episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Talking Success. Before you flick to another video, I haven't gone mad, I haven't lost the plot. Yes, we are here with Scoin Shop today, okay? And I know this is a FinTech podcast, and I'm going to tell you why this is a FinTech podcast and why Scoin Shop are here today. I promise you it's related. I'm delighted to welcome Rael Demby from Scoin Shop. He's the CEO, and we have not met before. This is completely unscripted, as most of our podcasts are. And when I think it was Rael's sort of head of PR reached out to us and said, "Look, would you consider having a Scoin Shop on the show?" It was like, "Scoin Shop? You mean the place in the mall that I walk past and wonder what on earth are they doing there?" And I think she said, "Yeah, that's the one." I was like, "Okay, well, let's have a chat and make sure there's some degree of kind of connection between this crazy world of fintech and clearly, well, what I knew, and I know I'm going to be corrected on this episode. What I knew was a retailer, right? That sold coins, gold coins. So sit back, grab a coffee. We're going to dive in to the world of gold, retail, coins, digital transformation, exchanges, physical gold, virtual gold, and I'm going to learn a hell of a lot more than I know about this priceless. Well, no, I'm going to say priceless commodity. That's not the right thing. This very valuable commodity called gold, but specifically with a South African and perhaps even a wider sort of African context. But before we get started, well, thank you so much for joining. Love the view out your window. Looks awesome. Cape Town, Joburg. I can't quite make it up from over your shoulder.
It's Joburg, right in the center in Sandton City. Thanks, Darren, for letting me come on the show. To prove that we are not connected at all, I have to correct you that it is the Scoin Shop and not the Coin Shop.
Scoin.
My father opened up a coin shop and he said, it looks like Swatch, S-Watch. And then he said, let's go Scoin, S-Coin. And that's how that name came across. So now everybody knows. There you go.
There you go. Right. Well, listen, before we delve into that, and you correct me on everything else, because as I said to you, we've not met. I know nothing about you and what we've spoken about before. So listen, before we delve into all of this, find out a bit more about you and your background. I think you've just alluded to the fact that this is kind of a family business, right?
Yes, absolutely. This would not be around in any stretch of the matter if it wasn't for my father. Yes, of course, it is a South African gold coin exchange. My father took over this in the mid-70s. The first Kruger Rand he ever bought during the army was 500 Rand. And if anyone watching today knows, a Kruger Rand's well over 41,000 Rand today.
Wow.
And this journey of democratizing gold, making it accessible, making it easy is really at the forefront of what I'm trying to do. I've been here for about 10 years, obviously learning from my father for the last 30 since the day I was born. I've been involved in this business. Gold has grown a hell of a lot. The business has grown and changed in many ways. And we're proud to be a family business. My father is active or sort of active, but we're running the business here in Sandton. We have 10 other stores around the country called the Scoin Shops. And then the head office is called the South African Gold Coin Exchange. And again, it's about inviting people into our space, speaking to people, not feeling maybe overwhelmed or nervous. Gold is unattainable. Gold really is attainable and achievable. And we've got some amazing stories.
Amazing. Listen, before we again go into kind of the business and the golds. Oh, actually, no. Let me ask you a question. The Krugerrand versus other types of gold that there are available. Can you unpack that? So, what does each country have its own sort of gold bullion and its own sort of gold supply, or how does that work? I know very little about the sort of the commodity.
Yeah, so actually the Krugerrand in 1967 was the first ever gold bullion coin that was allowed to be sold to anybody and to the public. And this Krugerrand was a bit unique. It was 27 Rand at the time for one of those 1967 regular Krugerrands. Now they can trade up to over 90,000 Rand for one of them because they were one of the first.
Wow.
And then all other countries around the world started making and minting their own bullion coins, which is, like you said, a Krugerrand. There's the Canadian Maple Leaf, the British Britannia, the American Liberty, the Chinese Panda. And then these mints who were making this gold for retail consumers and the public would also make other coins that people used as currency. So the kinds of coins you have in your pocket, the kinds of really special commemorating something with a base metal.
Yep.
And then these mints would create similar stories or mint similar products celebrating these things on precious metals. So the British Royal Mint would put the stamp of the Queen on the one side, and maybe Buckingham Palace or the Queen's birthday, the Queen's Jubilee. And then these are sold through wholesalers, dealers like us around the world, but usually in their home countries. What we are proud of in the South African Gold Coin Exchange is to be exclusive distributors of these really special coins from some of the biggest mints in the world.
Right.
And these coins are not your regular Krugerrand or Britannia. They might have a mintage of 100 or 500. They are minted differently to a regular bullion coin. They come in a beautiful box. They are certified. And usually these are what we would classify as collectible coins.
Sure.
And then the bullion coins are more investor, hoarder, speculator type of products. So you need to be in love with numismatics. That's the art and love of coins. And bullion and gold is the investment side. And we do both, and we'll get into that as well.
Amazing. So let's talk about the journey. So when your father sort of opened the first store or took over the first store, and then you started opening up the different retail outlets. The business model then was it more focusing on the collectibles, so the collectible coins that people would then go and say, I really want the Queen's Jubilee or whatever it may be. Was it more of that, or was it a trading shop? So would people come in and buy and sell gold? Or again, was it both?
It definitely started out as a channel, a retail channel, and the Gold Coin Exchange, a channel to sell these collectible coins and to sell regular bullion as well. And then over the years, people who had bought it would come and say, "Can I please sell this?" Or people who had inherited a bunch of Krugerrands would come in and say, "Can we please sell this?" And it evolved into a place that it did become more of a trading shop, but it does focus to this day to be a world leader in selling collectible coins, numismatics, bullion, and some other really cool, creative, innovative digital products now.
Right. Okay, now we're getting into the fintech part. Okay, great. So, wind the clock forward. I think you said 30 years or so. We're now in 2024. The world is digital. Well, a lot of the world is digital. There are still obviously people that like collecting, physical assets, whether it be coins, whether it be cars, whether it be I don't know, vintage phones, right? The old Nokias from the days, or whatever it may be. I was blown away the other day. My girlfriend was telling me about vintage Barbie dolls that you buy and how much they're worth. Anyway, incredible. So we're now in the sort of digital age. Scoin as a business, or the gold exchange as a business. How are you diversifying? How are you digitizing to what is now becoming quite an easy commodity to buy and sell? Not necessarily own the physical asset, but the virtual asset. So in South Africa, we have various different exchanges. We have different investment platforms that people have access to, where you can go and buy 10 rands worth of gold, okay, or you can go and buy 10 rands worth of silver or palladium or platinum or whatever it may be. How are you seeing the adoption from the consumer? And I appreciate in this part of the world we have a very large difference between the living standard metrics, all the way, from very, very sort of impoverished all the way to, high net worth. What are you seeing in terms of trends of people looking at gold, looking at maybe other commodities as either a store of value or as a longer term investment to diversify against the rand? What are you seeing?
So, yeah, really good question. Lots of parts to it. Gold is this 6,000-year-old asset. Some would still say it's the mother of money, the first origin of real money, value of exchange. Before there were little rocks and pebbles, all the way to porcelain and big, all the way up to paper and now digital money.
Yeah.
And this idea of coins, coin collecting, and what the Scoin Shop stands for is still being in the traditional gold industry, which still exists. People these days want something tangible. They might want to take it home with them. There is something really special about holding gold in your hand and seeing it for the first time, taking it home, giving it to your children. It's something we don't think is possible. So we've tried to democratize that. And like you said, people can own gold, precious metals in digital denominations today. You can go buy some shares, ETFs. You can go buy stocks of your favorite mining company. You can call your bank and maybe, but taking something home with you is really what we like to do, or store it. But in a world that is so digital, that tangibility is still extremely important. We want to fuse these things together where digital and physical can coexist. We want technology to enhance what we are doing. And while it could replace us, gold is still ingrained in all of us. It's in your phones, it's in your semiconductors, it's in your teeth if you've got some fillings.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, gold will still be here. We are gold bugs, traditional gold bugs. And adoption comes in many layers, because you were saying that like a low LSM who maybe could never get access to gold. We have a business called Gold for Life that you can pay 500 Rand a month, almost like a lay-by, and then you can take home the Krugerrand set with you when you're finished. Then you have people who want to buy large amounts of gold, Krugerrands, proof Krugerrands, collectibles, and then you get really specific numismatic collectors who want $1 million coins or something to put up in their mantelpiece at home. And it depends really. So to answer the question, we're adapting as the business changes, as the customers really decide what they want. And again, it's like the big new thing is digital stuff, blockchain technology. The product that we are pushing now, which we'll get into, is really a standard, a gold standard, excuse the pun, of stable coin, of a gold-backed cryptocurrency called Pax Gold, which with a market cap of over 10 billion rand, we know these gold coins, gold bars, allocated gold is actually there, and we can stand by that and sell that digital product. You know, people talk about stable coins. Stable coins are connected to a currency, a hard currency, whereas Pax Gold is connected to real gold. You know, the Bitcoin guys or the crypto guys are like on one side of the spectrum, and our regular gold guys who take their coins home with them are on the other side as well. And we are trying to fuse them together or show value to both in different ways that might suit a crypto bug might be 500% up on his Bitcoin today, and maybe he'd like to sell it, but doesn't want to cash it in for British pounds or dollars or ZAR. And then he might say, well, I'll park it in gold until I'm ready again. And that's what Pax Gold does. That's what it does for our crypto fan base. On the other hand, you have the older generation, more traditional buyer who sees this as something new, but maybe too scary. They want to take their coins home with them. There's nothing you can say to that kind of guy.
Yep.
He wants to take it home with him. And that's sort of the spectrum of where we are. We want to be everywhere, but be where the action is and what clients actually want out of gold.
I've got like a million questions, but let me start with one. You mentioned about sort of lower LSM who have the ability to acquire gold, physical gold, at 500 rand a month or whatever it may be. And then you mentioned that there's obviously high net worth individuals who are going buy $1 million coin and they want to display it on their mantelpiece. I would imagine that individual who's going to display it on his mantelpiece probably has a fair bit of security around his property, his or her property. When it comes to the low LSM who perhaps don't have that, I imagine probably absolutely don't have that. Is there not a sort of a risk for them? Do you feel that people are worried about holding physical gold on the basis of A, it can't be tracked, B, it's quite easily stolen? It's a bit like cash, really. Do you come across that question much, or not really?
The way you asked it, no. So it's a great question again. It's really smart. There's a guy's paying 500, 1,000 rand a month for 2 or 3 years. And at the end of it, he's got this Krugerrand set. And he comes to collect it. And he says, oh, where am I going to keep it? So about 15 years ago, the Scoin Shop opened up a division called Safe Gold. And Safe Gold is a storage, open safe custody solution for our clients to store their gold with us. We store in excess of 7,500 clients today are storing their gold with us.
Wow.
And it is fully insured and it's managed and tracked and audited. And yes, if you have a Krugerrand under your bed today, it is like cash and you cannot insure it. If somebody was to steal it, we've heard hundreds of stories. People dug holes in their garden, and lo and behold, 50 Krugerrands were stolen from their garden or on top of their cupboard in their house. So South Africa is not on the top 100 safest countries in the world to live.
No.
What Scoin allows you to do is store the gold with us. You can come and view it. If you'd like to sell it, you can just call us and we'll buy it directly, or you can go to your nearest store, pick it up, view it, or maybe you decide to sell it there and then. And when I mean open safe custody, it's not like a box with your name on it. It is multiple areas and storage facilities extremely high security. And if you want yours, we will pick it and ship it or buy it from you at that moment.
Okay, amazing.
So going back to the gold for life question, the low LSM, usually we store it for them or they do take it home with them. We don't mind. It's up to you. It's your coin. You can take it home or you can sell it back whenever you are ready. But yeah, it's a great question. And just anyone out there, just make sure your gold is insured somehow or stored somewhere safe that you trust.
Okay, that's the physical side. Let's go on to the virtual side. Okay, and I'd love to use the analogy, or the analogy, the example that you gave a few moments ago. So, someone has been investing in stocks, shares, crypto, wine, whatever it may be, and has got a return. So they've made, let's just pick a number, 100,000 rand. Okay, so they've got 100,000 rand sitting in another asset class, and they go, okay, I'm going to take my profits out of that because of the volatility, and I want to invest that in gold. Now, I don't want the physical gold because I don't want it for all the reasons we've just discussed, and maybe others. How would that individual go about investing in gold with Scoin? Do they have to go into the retail outlet? Can they do something online? What does it look like, and how does it work?
So so someone in the crypto space would obviously understand the use of a wallet or a cold wallet. Somebody would understand that they've made their money, they have their passcodes, they aren't some like magic. And they've got their crypto on their phone. And what we've started with is allowing these crypto owners to walk into a shop. And what's the big part of this whole program is this Pundi X POS machine, which is right here. And this is the future, really, where you can take your phone with the crypto on it and pay instantly. One touch, boom, bang, you've just paid for this gold. Now, in the background, the innovation to build APIs that allow us to do this online are in the mix. But the gap that we're trying to bridge is that you might want to take that physical gold home with you one day. Maybe it's 1 month after you've bought the PAX gold. Maybe you walk in, you already have PAX gold that you bought on an exchange, and now you are bringing in your wallet into the store, boom, and you pay, and then you walk out with physical. So you know, again, it's like making sure you're buying a stable coin like a USD Tether, and you actually know the dollars are there. With this, you are buying into something, you know it exists. You might hold it for a week or a month or a year. Then you come into our shop and buy a Kruger Rand or a extremely rare coin from 130 years ago. You can do what you like. We are integrating what we believe to still be valuable as tangible gold with the physical gold. And so that answers the question, hopefully, on
Yeah.
the crypto headed individual.
It does, and it also opens up a load of other questions, which I'm going to ask you anyway. First question is there a specific cryptocurrency or coins that I can exchange for, or sorry, exchange is the wrong word, that I can buy Kruger Rand for, or does it not matter?
So what's cool with the Pundi X device, an amazing group of boys out of Cape Town who have made this ecosystem just instantly work with our retail offering, is it accepts 70 cryptocurrencies right now.
Wow.
This device, I'm not fully understand everything, but the whole Tron network, the
Okay.
Ethereum network, the Binance network, it's all on here. You just type in the Rand value and it converts it instantly into the cryptocurrency you are paying. Boom, bang, you get your slip and you just paid using cryptocurrency. And what's cool for me, or as the retailer, is that I'm getting this back into South African rands almost instantly. We don't mind playing in the space. We know it's part of the game, but we would like it back in South African rands. And yeah.
So, Rael, once that slip has been printed, which is obviously a kind of your proof of purchase, right? Where do I know where is my gold? I mean, can I log on somewhere and sort of see the value of my gold comparing to the ZAR or the dollar or the euro or whatever? Or how does that bit work?
So if you were buying the PAX Gold specifically,
Yeah.
we've already got a cold wallet. I'm just going to bring you one right here. Actually, quite a few. I'm just going to show you them all here.
Oh, okay.
This is a cold wallet, the PX card with the technology from PAX Gold. And what this allows you to do, just like a cold wallet, you tap this against your phone, and all of your PAX Gold is right there, right now, as a cold wallet. So that's really the cool thing, is you pay using your crypto. We tap this card there, and the PAX Gold transfers into this cold wallet. If you don't want a cold wallet, we can transfer it back to your hot wallet or your wallet on your phone. And again, if you're not into crypto at all, you don't like all of this stuff, we can put this in a beautiful wooden box, and you can put it in your storage, or we can store it for you. But there again, the gold is sitting on here right now in your pocket or in your hand.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to ask this question because I know it's probably on a lot of people's sort of tips of their tongues. What happens if you lose the card?
The same if you would lose the coin.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you see value in the idea, but there's too many steps, I understand. This is like, hey, I'm a crypto guy. Why do I need to do these 5 steps? I mean, that's when our team at Pundi is working on APIs that just allow you to buy this and keep it in your own digital virtual wallet.
Yeah.
But again, how do you build a bridge where some people are walking and some people are flying and some people are jumping? You're trying to find a way that everyone can connect, and sometimes you just build the bridge and see.
Amazing, amazing. So I'm interested to know in terms of onboarding, right? So an individual comes in off the street into Scoin. Obviously, there's transactions taking place. Majority of, well, no, all financial service providers need to perform some sort of, KYC. Is that the same in your industry? Did you have sort of steps in place to ensure that there are these checks and balances in place?
Absolutely. We are at the highest level looking after KYC in this company with compliance officers. And, there's a lot of issues out there with money laundering, anti-terror finance, sort of politically that type of game.
Yeah.
And we just do lots of homework to make sure everything's above board. We try to keep things as comfortable, and we have to understand who's buying and why they're buying and where they're buying from. South Africa is not on the list of they are grey listed.
Yeah.
And we have to protect our customers, to protect the business. We do a lot of serious homework if we deem necessary. And again, there are rules and compliance that is being upgraded, enhanced every single day. Weekly, there are new meetings and new problems to overcome, and we just want to keep on being in that world and just being on top of it, because ultimately, people who want gold because they are traditional, they understand value, a store of value, they want to look after their children, they want to maybe do 100,000 to R1 million per year. If somebody walks in, I've got $1 million in Bitcoin, like, okay, just hold on a moment. We'd love to help you. We'd like to do the business, but we're going to be really on tip-top form.
Well, listen, it's necessary not only to protect yourself as a business, to protect the economy, and to make sure that the grey listing is something that we never have to talk about here again in South Africa. There's a big conference being run in August of this year, Decoding Financial Crime, and that's all about this, in ensuring that whilst we're on the grey list, or South Africa's on the grey list, making sure that A, it comes off, and B, it doesn't happen again. And the whole sort of AML and KYC is vitally important to that. Okay, moving on. I must say, Rael, I'm blown away by this pause device that you've just shown. And for anyone listening on sort of Spotify or Apple or any other sort of audio podcast, please come and check this out on YouTube. It's a phenomenal piece of kit, and I must say, if someone sort of put that in front of me, I go, well, that's quite a large point of sale machine. But the functionality behind it, in order to be able to go up and tap your soft wallet, online wallet onto this and be able to then make a purchase. I have not seen one of those, certainly not in South Africa anyway. So that's very, very cool. Well, talk to us about the future. I appreciate none of us. I'm not going to ask you what the price of gold is going to be in 2 years' time, but talk about the business. Where do you guys see yourselves focusing on? Are you, given it is the South African Gold Exchange, you focus domestically? Is there going to be any sort of international work that you do? Do you see yourselves always having a retail footprint? Or do you see yourselves perhaps doing a little bit like the banks are doing now, where they're either closing some of them down and going fully digital, or just having a very basic kind of shop window? Where do you see the future in your business?
That's a good one as well, Darren.
I do try.
When we go to the World Money Fair every year in Berlin, we meet the biggest mints in the world, showing technologies and how they mint coins, how they refine metals, how they use 3D printing and color technology to make coins. The question is, any mint director, mint master from around the world would say coins are not going anywhere. We believe in coins, gold, silver, precious metals, circulation coins. Norway, in fact, was completely cashless, and now they're trying to bring it back a little bit. So is the world fully digital? Are certain countries further ahead than others? Yes. African countries using M-Pesa or using payment machines on their phones, I get it. But precious metals still need a face, still need to touch it, still need to come in and see the coin, feel it before they put it away in the safe. We have done some exploration into that. There is our online store, scoinshop.com, where you can pay using cryptocurrency, pay using Ozo, pay using credit card. And there is a value to that. But most clients of ours or first-time buyers would say, look, I'm about to pay north of 50,000 Rand online. Usually you don't do much of that. I don't know, it's crazy, but some people do. But some people say, look, we have a Calendly app built into our website. It allows you to come and have a face-to-face chat like this. Then we invite you to one of the shops nearest to you, and maybe touching and feeling that coin is still very much part of at least South Africa's view on storing of gold in times of uncertainty, in times of political unrest, inflation. Just imagine holding 5 Kruger Rands in your hand today at 41,000 each, and 2 years ago it was 30,000 each. Maybe that's all you need to know to say, I'm holding some value. So there is an angle to explore and expand. We do some projects internationally, and I definitely think we're going to be world leaders in gold innovation and every facet of gold, whether it's digital gold, fractional ownership, storing of gold, maybe moving gold around for you. Maybe it's on a little card like this, or maybe it's in your pocket. That's why I love what we do. And the team is like embracing this innovation and change, because gold is, or coins could be quite boring. Let's be honest. It's not on the top 10 sexiest things to collect, but the stories and the passion and the people who work here and the ideas are just every single day. There's something new and exciting. So yeah, we're pretty excited about the future. And again, technology for us is a part of the traditional gold sense. We don't think it will completely replace it, because at the end of the day, if there's a stable coin backed by physical gold, there will always be a gold standard, real gold sitting in a vault.
And I think with I smiled there when you were talking about coin collecting, because I think there's an emotive side of gold or coins, right? I just literally had a flashback probably 40 years ago, sitting in my garden with my granddad with a big book with the sort of paper, and then you had the cellophane on top, and he would stick all the coins on. I literally had a flashback, and it kind of brought a bit of emotion out. But I think there is that emotive side of owning something that's tangible, right? It's something you can feel, and you go, okay, well, things aren't going great, but I know I've got a bit of a safety net. I'm not going to go and touch it because it's being looked after for me. It's probably the most secure place in South Africa, from the sounds of things, it's there for a rainy day, or to the point where maybe I want to go and invest in something else, I want to go buy a car. You mentioned that sort of that big ticket purchase, and it baffles me. It really does how people in the States, and I think probably in the UK now, will go and buy a new car online without even seeing it, like Tesla. I mean, I couldn't even dream of doing something like that, right? Or buying a house without even seeing it and putting your credit card details in and going, there's $1 million. Anyway, I'm digressing, but I think the whole sort of physical and digital, and there was a word that someone used in a conference a couple of years ago. I can't remember it, but that sort of that combination, I think, is really, really important. There are banks, certainly on the continent, who are still opening up retail shops, even though they have a massive digital transformation program in play, right? They're still opening up these branches. Why? Because it's a place of community. It's a place where people come together. It's a safe place. People know that if something goes wrong, I can have a conversation with a human being. I'm not just talking to a chatbot. And I do think, I speak to a lot of sort of industry commentators around fintech, and a lot of them from overseas, and quite frankly, they don't get it. They don't get why there is the need for physical, which everything should be digital. Well, we're on a continent now that, yes, we've got the youngest population coming through, but they're also heavily influenced by the elders. They're heavily influenced by their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents, and all this comes down. And again, when you talk about gold is not this new thing called crypto, right? Ethereum or XRP or all the other hundreds and thousands of coins there are out there. This is something that people understand. It's fundamentally built into. It's even built into academics. I was with my girlfriend's niece, and she was going through, she's 11, 12, and she's going through some of her cycle tests at the moment. And there was a piece in there around international trade, okay? And this was going back, 200 years or whatever it may be, and how or why this individual would get some gold and chip it and, create a little bit and then go across border to go and buy something to bring back, and having that whole explanation to it. I didn't even think about, actually, we're talking about gold here, we're talking about the commodity. So I do think there's very much a relatable thing, and there's a very much an emotive thing. And again, it's real. It's not just bits and bytes. Yes, there is a digital version of this, but fundamentally, there is something that is real, a real asset behind it. So, super interesting. If people want to find out more, because I'm sure people will. Where is the best place? We'll put a load of links here, but if they want to find out more about gold as a commodity, okay, they want to find out more about sort of investing in gold, whether that be for collector's items or whether that be for a store of value, and where they want to find out about the differences between digital gold and physical gold. Is there a central place, or have you got sort of places you can direct people to?
Well, of course, we've got all the Scoin shops around the country. We're looking at some new sites for further far places. Check out our website, scoinshop.com. You can come and visit us. Something you were talking about, Darren, is that, like, going back to my father's original mission and vision of this is to make gold accessible, democratizing it, one man, 1 ounce, one region at a time. That's what we want to do, is come and chat all day, every day, online, WhatsApp, call us, just learn about it. One other little thing, we've got this NFT set that was tokenized of a 130-year-old ZAR coin set, which we can do on another podcast, but it's just a tremendous story of this 130-year-old coin set been broken up into little tiny pieces as an NFT. We did it with the Moment Group in Cape Town, and it's just super exciting, really awesome. And it's, again, you come to us like we would do KYC. It's not just about where you got your money from, but it's, what do you want this for? Is it a gift? Is it long term? Is it short term? Digital, physical, tangible, not tangible? We store it, you store it. We can help you, and we want to make gold exciting and warm and friendly, not somewhere that you should feel scared. So, pop into any shop around the country, call us, email us, we'll leave some links here. We can do Zoom calls with people, and we want to educate, let people see the true value. And like I started, when my father sold his first coin for 500 Rand, now it's 40,000 over 40 years. I think that's pretty cool story, and all the little things in between along the way.
Amazing story. Thank you for coming on and talking this through. I must say, my eyes have been opened to the world of gold, really, gold coins, and different ways in which anyone, and I do genuinely mean that, anyone, whether you're the low LSM or high LSM, ultra high net worth, whatever it may be, can look at gold and look at coins as a store of value, as an alternative asset class, as gifts, as family wealth, as all of these different aspects. And I think it has, thanks to you guys and thanks to other players operating in this space, has become a lot more accessible. This is not about going to a bank and buying a gold bullion and and having to put that in your bag and slap it home. This is the new world where fractional ownership, you don't have to own a whole bar, right? You can own a tiny little fraction of that. Is all possible. And we don't give any financial advice on this show whatsoever. I'm certainly not qualified to do so. But have a look at gold. If you are looking at various different sort of investments, just have a consideration for where that may fit into your portfolio. Well, thank you again. Thank you to your team for reaching out. I've loved having you on. I'm going to come and buy you a coffee in Joburg. I'm based here as well, so I'll come and buy you a coffee when I'm back from Cape Town. But in the meantime, if you've got any last words, feel free. If not, we'll end it there.
No, come on in. We'll show you some coins that you touch and feel, some real gold in your hand. The Pundi X guys, really big opportunity for us. The Paxos team from the States really giving us this chance, and the Scoin team here doing incredible work to just make gold accessible. Thank you for giving us this chance. and all the best. Stay golden.
Thank you very much. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Take care.
You too. Cheers.